Hello everyone, and welcome to my Iconic Goodbyes channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Could Claire's pregnancy be the key to stopping Summer's ambitions? The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates suggest that Claire Newman's anticipated pregnancy could be the key to stopping Summer Newman. Could Kyle Abbott's baby form a permanent bond with Claire and change everything, something that will bind them by blood? Summer and Kyle have a forever friendship with Harrison Abbott. Summer and Kyle have formed an unbreakable friendship via their co-parenting of Harrison Abbott. Summer, Harrison's adoptive mother, will always feel a connection to Kyle through their child. Fans of YNR have noticed that Summer has recently taken advantage of her connection with Harrison. Claire, who also cares for Harrison, understands that this is a method Summer can use without encountering much resistance from Kyle and his girlfriend. Claire, on the other hand, is sensitive and can see through Summer's intentions, which she finds unpleasant. Claire's trying to hide her insecurities, but they're sneaking up on her. Despite Claire's best efforts to project confidence, her insecurities are becoming more obvious and could potentially snowball into larger concerns. Victor Newman has emphasized the necessity of Summer and Kyle working together to help Harrison. Victor would like to see both of his granddaughters free of Kyle, although he clearly prefers Kyle to be with Summer rather than Claire. However, Claire may be able to balance the odds against Summer. With all of the focus on Harrison, Kyle, and Summer's relationship, could Claire become pregnant and form a long-term bond with Kyle? Interestingly, Claire's sneaky side may surface. It would be interesting to see Claire's mischievous side surface in this situation. After all, Jordan raised her, so that side of her nature is probably lurking beneath the surface, waiting for a new tale. What if Claire purposefully became pregnant in the hopes of securing her future with Kyle? If Summer discovers Claire is expecting Kyle's child, she will undoubtedly accuse her of manipulating. Even if Claire's pregnancy is the consequence of an unintentional birth control failure, Summer may still level charges, escalating their feud. Summer might even try to influence Kyle's thoughts, implying that Claire is trying to trap him. Kyle and Claire could be pregnant anytime now. Regardless of the circumstances, Kyle and Claire have been sharing a bed for some time, laying the door for a possible pregnancy narrative if YNR chose to go that path. Upcoming spoilers hint that Victor will continue to make dismal prophecies regarding Kyle and Claire's future, but will his predictions come true? Could Kyle and Claire's kid be the turning point Claire has been waiting for? Summer, Kyle, and Claire's love triangle is guaranteed to take unexpected twists, so stay tuned for any intriguing developments. Could Sharon's trip lead to a new romance on The Young and the Restless? Sharon could return from London with a new man for YNR. Sharon has recently experienced a difficult time on The Young and the Restless. But she's ready for a new beginning with her impending vacation to London. The vacation will transform her life in ways she cannot imagine. Sharon needs a break after her most recent kidnapping ordeal with Phyllis. She decides it's time to go see her son Noah in London. So she and Faith are prepared to travel to Europe. Sharon wanted to make it a family trip, so she invited Nick along. However, he seemed unwilling to go. After reviewing their trip, the ex-partners chatted about their relationship. Sharon asked Nick whether he had any thoughts about getting back together. Nick admits they had a nice time together, but he can never forget how much anguish he caused her. Sharon is ready to move on now that Nick has destroyed her expectations for a reunion. She might meet her next love interest on her vacation. Sharon's visit to London provides her with an ideal opportunity to discover an unexpected relationship. Although the trip is intended to spend time with her children, an attractive man could sweep her off her feet. Sharon's sweetheart could be a former character, such as Tucker or Scotty Granger, who has returned. Or it could be a newbie looking to cause trouble in Genoa City. Sharon will be pleased with her new romance, but others will not. Her family will be concerned about her new beau, particularly Nick. However, Nick's fear may be motivated by jealousy. Although Nick had rejected the thought of a reunion, seeing Sharon with another man may have changed his mind. But would Sharon sacrifice a chance at new love for a reconciliation with Nick? YNR spoilers, Victor's connection to Dumas revealed. Michael's discovery rocks GC. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates hint that the unsettling history between Victor Newman and Aristotle Dumas is about to come to light. Michael Baldwin will unearth Victor's hidden connections to Aristotle, so let's see what happens next. Michael will become curious during a chat with Victor during the week of March 24th to 28th. Michael will have a chat with Victor that piques his interest. Victor will drop a hint regarding Aristotle, referring to their previous relationship. It sounds like you and Dumas share a history I'm not aware of, Michael tells Victor in the weekly preview video for YNR. Victor would react with a frown, confessing that he has a past with Aristotle Dumas, but it appears that those recollections are not happy. It is conceivable that Victor's interactions with Aristotle ended on a sour note. They may have grown vicious, and Victor may not have emerged victorious. Given Victor's reputation for ruthlessness, it's possible that he took action against Aristotle, initiating a rivalry, and who knows, perhaps he met his match in Aristotle, given Victor's pride. Victor has no problems playing dirty. It's commonly acknowledged that Victor isn't scared to get involved in the muck that is corporate politics. Nevertheless, it's probable that Aristotle was the one who transformed Victor into an antagonist in the first place. Perhaps there was a previous episode in which Aristotle used deceptive techniques, initiating their long-standing enmity. If that were the case, Victor might have reacted aggressively, leaving Aristotle to nurse his bruises until now. During this period, Aristotle could have been planning his comeback and gaining strength for revenge. Nonetheless, Victor may be concerned about Aristotle seeking retaliation for lingering resentments. Worrisome things may be on the way, depending on what Aristotle has planned, though the fight between Victor and Aristotle appears to have been resolved. Victor is likely to remain concerned about everyone's safety at Winters, particularly now that Damian Kane's relationship to Aristotle has been revealed. The CBS serial plainly portrays Aristotle as a crooked and intriguing figure who is skillful at persuasion. Aristotle appears to be on his way to become a new nemesis in Genoa City, so keep an eye out for further information on his goals. Upcoming leaks hint that Victor will divulge his past with Aristotle Dumas and make some disturbing predictions about his powers, so don't miss it. The Young and the Restless should give us more Nikki. We urgently need more Nikki. Victor reconstructed his and Nikki's treasured original Newman ranch, but Nikki has not appeared much since on Young and the Restless. It's time to reclaim her rightful place in the spotlight. Bring Nikki back into the spotlight. Sure, she was involved in the Jordan/Ian Ward incident, but not in the ways we might assume. She was no longer the objective, but rather a bystander assisting in the progression of events. Jordan is no longer with us, Ian Ward is assumed dead, and Nikki has been pushed aside. No more! We need another massive Nikki-centric narrative right away. We have some thoughts about what the program might throw Nikki's way. Nikki in Power. The simple solution to this quandary is to simply highlight Nikki at work. She is holding Catherine's legacy in her hands, and Nikki is determined not to dishonor her best friend's memory. It isn't enough to hear about it, we want to see it. We want to see her grab the throne and show her corporate muscles. Searching for Dylan years ago, Nikki and Paul were reunited with their son Dylan. He stayed in Genoa City for several years. He fell in love with Chelsea and subsequently married Sharon, only to have everything taken away when he was forced into witness protection and hasn't spoken much since. Is it time for Nikki to seek him out? This might be quite an adventure. Nikki runs for office in 2013. Nikki experimented with politics. She won her election and was pleased to be a member of Genoa City's city council, but she did not hold her post for long. She resigned down immediately after getting a life-altering multiple sclerosis diagnosis to focus on her health. Now that her MS is under control, maybe it's time to try again. And this time, she could ask for a larger slice of the pie. Madam Mayor, perhaps? The darkest of dark secrets, the past always comes back to haunt Genoa City residents. What if Nikki was involved in a dangerous or upsetting incident during her early career as a stripper? Perhaps she observed a crime that was never investigated, or she was involved in a cover-up that is going to be revealed. Could a former colleague return with blackmail in mind? Perhaps Nikki once took matters into her own hands, and the truth is now catching up with her. Could there be something else in Nikki's history that holds the potential to shake up Genoa City? YNR early week spoilers March 24th to 28th, Tracy's imposter theory and Phyllis and Billy's investigation. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of March 24, 2025 are available. Next week, fans should anticipate Tracy Abbott to learn Alan Loran may not be who he claims to be. Meanwhile, Michael Baldwin discovers a Genoa City connection to Aristotle Dumas. There is also Phyllis Summers, who could persuade Billy Abbott to investigate the kidnapping. Alan Loran's twist during the week of March 24, spectators will watch Tracy get enthusiastic about her forthcoming wedding to Alan. However, she is beginning to believe that he may not be himself. Tracy is aware that Alan has a twin named Martin Loran. However, the bad twin was slain. Or was it really Alan? In any event, Jack Abbott's statements appear to have caused an epiphany in Tracy. Tracy Abbott's imposter theory: when Jack mentioned that Alan had been full of surprises lately, Tracy began to think. The writer might discover that Jack is correct. Tracy could begin to link the dots, but this could place her in great danger. Martin now requested that we not meet in Paris for a few days while he planned a surprise. Could the surprise be that he's preparing for an experiment? Could Tracy become the next person caught in the madman's prison? Phyllis Summers and Billy Abbott investigate the Young and the Restless spoilers for next week indicate that Phyllis is on the verge of a breakdown. Phyllis and Sharon Newman were rescued from a double kidnapping. Sharon has swiftly returned to her normal life, while Khalil's mental health is deteriorating. Then, in a preview clip, Phyllis sobs outside a restaurant. Phyllis claims that Daniel Romalotti, Jr. and Summer Newman cannot see her in that way. After a few awkward silences, Billy asks what he can do. That was a horrible question because Phyllis already knew what to ask him next. There is also the problem with Damian Kane and Holden Novak, which occurred the week of March 19, 2025. Claire Grace Newman is pleased with Kyle Abbott, but he is the target of two curveballs. One is named Summer, and the other is Victor Newman. Claire seemed to be about to face an impossible decision. Victor also tells Michael that he has a past with Dumas. What kind of history? Why hasn't Victor mentioned this earlier? Is Aristotle Dumas a code name or an alias for someone who is well known among fans? Why Young and the Restless should leave Billy's love life alone? Billy's love life must stay as it is. Billy is many things, including a gambling addict, a renegade, and a walking disaster in an expensive suit. But, most crucially, he's a man who can't seem to find love. The Young and the Restless appear to be having a bit too much fun, putting him into every romantic tornado imaginable. According to recent reports, they are attempting to return him to Phyllis's arms. This is a partnership no one asked for, except perhaps the fans who enjoy mayhem. The never-ending Billy romance roulette. We've seen what happens when these two get together, and it's not pretty. Remember the "Oops, I slept with my wife's brother" episode? Because Jack certainly does, as do all of those whose brows nearly fell off when they discovered this. This pairing was messy then, and it's sure to be considerably messier now. Have the writers simply given up and begun selecting names from a hat? Are they attempting to shatter Genoa City's record for most love triangles? Billy's love life needs a do not disturb sign. Let us talk about what makes sense. Billy and Sally have provided us with all of the heat and chemistry we could want. They quarrel, flirt, and appear to like each other. What else do we need? Some supporters think that if Sally isn't the finale, Victoria is the only viable choice. At the very least, that relationship has a lengthy, complicated history and a few good reasons to exist. But Phyllis? We can't even pretend it's a sensible decision. The writers should do Billy a favor and leave his romantic life alone for 5 minutes. Maybe let him focus on his actual life? Perhaps a plot that does not require him reigniting an old flame that has already consumed the house? If Billy's love life were a restaurant, it would feature a rotating door and a sign that reads "Now serving, whoever's next" in the window. Let's stop it before we all get whiplash. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Will Sharon find love again? For new romantic possibilities are explored. According to spoilers and updates from The Young and the Restless, Sharon Newman may have 4 new prospective love interests to explore. Who will help her move on from Nick Newman after he has rejected the thought of getting back together? Nick shut down a reconciliation. Sharon may reunite with another ex on canvas, but let's look into some intriguing new romance possibilities instead. It's exciting when the drama offers new dynamics, so here are some possible love partners for Sharon. After Nick stated unequivocally that a reconciliation is not in the cards, we can identify at least 4 new dating opportunities for her. Sharon tried to get Nick to accompany her and Faith Newman on a vacation to London and asked about their relationship. Nick cherishes her and their family, but the past has too many terrible memories for him to consider reconciling. Bachelor number 1 Holden Novak clearly wants to resume his romance with Audra Charles, but she may refuse because she is dating Nate Hastings. Holden has showed interest in Claire Newman, but she is devoted to Kyle Abbott and may not consider other possibilities. Holden is likely to seek a passionate encounter elsewhere. Although it may not lead to anything serious, Sharon and Holden could develop some chemistry if given the opportunity. Should the show allow Holden and Sharon to get intimate? Bachelor number 2 Damian Kane is a newcomer to the scene, currently single and ready to mingle. While he has his eyes on Lily Winters, their relationship is likely to face severe hurdles. Damian conceals certain aspects of his plans, which may disappoint Lily when the truth is exposed. If Lily decides to turn Damian down, even briefly, he may find himself with someone else. How do you feel about Sharon and Damian having a brief affair, possibly for one night? Bachelor number 3, Aristotle Dumas. There has been much speculation about the role of Aristotle Dumas, who has yet to be cast. This sets the way for Sharon to become his romantic interest once he arrives in Genoa City. It could be interesting to see Sharon develop affections for this enigmatic corporate magnate, potentially revealing a more compassionate aspect to his personality. However, we are making the premise that he is unattached, which may not be true. Furthermore, there may be other reasons that make him a poor match, especially since we have no idea what he looks like or whether he is even accessible. Bachelor number 4 Daniel Romalotti. While Daniel Romalotti Jr. is undoubtedly a recognizable face on the canvas, his possible romance with Sharon might add a new twist if YNR chooses to pursue it. Could Sharon and Daniel build a solid bond after overcoming their prior struggles? What better way to test Sharon and Phyllis Summers' new relationship than to ignite a spark between Sharon and her son? Regardless, upcoming teasers indicate Sharon is ready to move on from Nick, but who will help her take the first step? As Sharon thinks about her future and makes predictions, keep an eye out for any intriguing love events. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.